Well, the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Homes.com, CoStar definitely won the advertising by just the depths and creativity in their ads.
I'm scared to click the button because all of a sudden I'm going to be having multiple agents calling me every time I click on it.
Great. You know that website, Homes.com? You'll never guess.
Own zero properties, be the portal. I mean, be the exchange. Welcome back to the Reside Platform Podcast. I'm here with Suneet Agarwal, and we're going to be talking about the biggest news, I think, in the real estate industry in a while, and that's Homes.com, the battle of the portals. Super Bowl just finished, right, Suneet? You caught that, right? Super Bowl just finished, and it was a great game. Kansas City Chiefs over the 49ers, went overtime. I don't know what people are thinking in your neck of the woods in California. Probably a little upset.
You know what? I haven't heard that much. Like, my whole family, diehard Niner fans, like, I don't care.
Yeah. Okay, good. Because Suneet's in Sacramento. But the game within the game is Homes.com kind of throwing down the gauntlet and buying $7 million per spot commercials to drive the eyeballs to their website, Homes.com. They want buyers looking at their website for homes.
No doubt they saw a huge spike in traffic. No doubt.
Yeah, and I don't know if you have any analytics on that. So we're going to dive deep into this. What are the effects on the industry? How does that affect real estate teams, real estate brokerages, and the agents? And how are they going to differentiate themselves, Zillow versus Homes.com? I mean, it's not just $7 million per advertising, and I saw probably 4 spots or more, but they had celebrities.
7?
Yeah, 7. They had actors on there: Jeff Goldblum, Dan Levy, Heidi Gardner, plus the production value. So overall, you're probably looking at $40-50 million in overall investment just on the Super Bowl. And what a Super Bowl to do it! I mean, it was the highest rated Super Bowl of all time. 122 million people.
Well, dude, here's the thing. Like, real quick before we dive into it, is the media, the ad time on sports is the most valued thing now because everybody else is watching streaming. All the commercials, like, you don't see commercials on Netflix or Amazon Prime, YouTube TV, right?
Yeah.
Like, because so the commercial, and I was listening to Tony Robbins talk about this, the value of the commercials on sports has gone way up. Now let's get into Homes.com and their parent company, CoStar. 2 weeks ago, I walked into the office, and I say it because I don't walk into the office that much. So about 2 weeks ago, I walk into my office, and my wonderful office manager, Ariana Wisco, shout out to Ariana. She goes, "Hey, we got a package here," and I'm all, "Great." So I open it, and it's big, and they put a lot of. It's probably worth like $100,
right?
From Homes.com. I was like, wow, this is interesting. They sent me like gourmet food and like a cutting board and like a bunch of sports stuff.
Direct mail with value.
Yes, bunch of sports stuff. And I look at their old, watch out for our commercials. Now, so CoStar is the company. They own apartments.com. They own LoopNet. What are all the things that they own? They own Homes.com. They own
apartments.com,
which is the big one. HomeSnap. They own HomeSnap.
They own LoopNet. Let's look at this acquisition. Check out this acquisition. Homes.com isn't like, hey, I just bought a great domain name. This is like CoStar, big time company, publicly traded company on the NASDAQ, right? In 2012, they bought LoopNet. 2012, $860 million.
Yeah.
In 2014, apartments.com, $585 million. 2016, they bought a company in Germany. This is not just a U.S. company. They're putting commercial properties globally, right?
Yeah,
Apartment Finder.
Wow.
2015, Apartment Finder, $170 million. Right? It keeps going. They then in 2018, they buy forrent.com from Dominion Enterprises for $350 million cash plus stocks. 2019, they acquire STR Inc. for $450 million. 2020, CoStar announces that they acquire 10X, which is formerly auction.com.
For
10X for $190 million. You guys getting the point here? To that April 2021, CoStar acquires homes.com. So this is just 3 years ago during COVID. They bought homes.com. $156 million cash. Right. And they're just continuing to acquire more properties, assets, I would say, right? And that's a global company. That's Andy Florence is the CEO. And it was interesting, he was saying something, he was asked a question on Inman, this this campaign you're going on, this Super Bowl campaign with all driving traffic. And how much are you investing? He said, it would be easier just to say to round up to $1 billion.
Yep.
Yeah. Something like that, right?
Dude, I mean, look at this. They have offices in 14 countries, dude. 1,500 global employees. Like, they are the real deal.
Yeah. So, Suneet, I was asking that question to you off air. I was like, can you actually buy your way into competition with Zillow? Can you really convert the consumer through advertising?
Yes. And I think a part of their strategy with homes.com, CoStar, part of CoStar's strategy is to provide more stuff to the agent and build that loyalty, dude.
That's what I want to talk about the strategy with CoStar, because you look at homes.com and you nailed it. They're really pushing your listing, your lead, which is not a new concept. I remember
listing your lead for free.
You're listing your lead for free. So they're not going to, now things change. I know agents are a little skeptical probably after Zillow, because that's the way Zillow was for a while. You could promote your listing. But right now, your profile is going to be on your listing.
Yes, the only one. And when you get a lead, there is no cost. You just get an email. Here's a lead from homes.com. You're all, what is this? And let me tell you, we've closed lots of them.
Yeah, I mean, Sydney, you're the go-to when it comes to getting free leads, free anything, referrals, business, traffic, leads. You're a lead magnet, man. There's a reason why you became #1 in California.
Yeah, lead geek. Right.
Lead geek. So it's going to favor teams with market share. Market share meaning listings, active listings.
Which makes sense, dude. Like, if you are a portal trying to get business, doesn't it go into the people that control the inventory? Like, that's what I would do.
And it's going to encourage agents to not do coming soons necessarily, because now they can get that exclusivity on the website, where a lot of times coming soons, if you're allowed to do it, it's like you want to be able to pre-market that to generate some leads, some business before it's on Zillow and you can't control any of it. Now you can throw it on there and generate some leads.
Can you guys do coming soon to Washington?
We can't do that.
Yeah, we can't do them either. So I know nothing about them anymore. You have more experience with that.
Yeah. But, you're listing their leads. So, I think what's going to happen is we did look into this, and they are coming out with they're very agent centric, giving tools to the agents to work with the consumer. And is that is that the opposite approach as Zillow, or at least the mindset on how people view Zillow?
I mean, dude, Zillow's focus, in my perspective, is the super app, right? Providing everything to the consumer.
So I don't know Homes.com's app. What's their app like? I mean, that's really the battle, right? If Zillow has a killer app for the consumer. Now, the back end for Homes.com is agent centric when you get your Agent Pro account, your Home Pro account. And I know this working, we've sold commercial, we've had commercial divisions in our company, right, Suneet?
Yep,
so so we're familiar with commercials. And for the people that aren't familiar with commercial, LoopNet is a big portal. Like
LoopNet is it. It's like a national MLS for commercial properties.
It is it. And you get international investors.
Yes.
People from everywhere. I'm in rural north central Washington state, and I had people from Japan, China reaching out on my commercial properties if I have the right one. And what they do really well is they have some tools in the back end where you can create a presentation of your listing. See, in the commercial world, you got to present your commercial property, like the location, the numbers matter, right? What's the cap rate? What's the income? What's the revenue? And so they built out this nice presentation, like generation. You can generate your own brochure, right? For investors to look at. They're doing the same thing on homes.com on the back end where you can generate your own CMA. And I don't know what it's like. I haven't used the tool, Cindy, but if it's anything like the LoopNet one, it's going to look slick. It's going to look clean. It's going to look,
Of course. How much money do they have? Of course,
yeah,
it's going to look good, right?
Yeah, I don't know if agents are going to use it, but it's there. And I don't, Zillow might have that, but they're not really pushing that. Yeah. Nor will the agent trust using it because it's not their listing their lead.
That's the problem, dude. I think you nailed it. Well, the trust is, am I going to get this back? Am I going to have to pay a referral fee on it? So many. Look, so the Super Bowl, probably it was the most watched Super Bowl ever, most watched thing on TV internationally. Every consumer who was watching now at least has homes.com in their head, right? Redfin wasn't on there. Realtor.com wasn't on there. Zillow wasn't on there. Zillow probably doesn't think that they need to be on there, right? But homes.com just put their stake in the ground. I was telling you this off air, and my facts may be wrong, but I believe 2 years ago, the National Association of Realtors conference was at the San Diego Convention Center. Beautiful place. I love San Diego, right?
I was looking at, if you guys, people that know me, I ride bikes, and I was looking at the weather. It's like 80 degrees. It's like the same all year. San Diego.
Yeah. So San Diego is great. So, and I just got this secondhand. So homes.com made a big push at the NAR convention. Are the going away party, this is what I heard and saw on social media, they closed down the entire Gaslamp district, which is however many blocks of bars and restaurants. Close it all down. I believe, from what I heard, that it was open bar, all those bars and restaurants. Huge. And then they put Keith friggin' Urban, the country musician, Nicole Kidman's husband, in the middle of the street for a big free concert. And if you think about it, that was 2-3 years ago. They bought the homes.com in 2021. That CEO has been on record saying that he's coming for Zillow. That CEO, there was some talks about them buying Move, Realtor.com's parent company from World Corp, News Corp, Fox, Rupert Murdoch. So it's going to be really interesting to see. And they went for it.
They went for
those commercials.
And they have HomeSnap. I mean, they have HomeSnap.
They have apartments.com, dude. Like, where else can you look for apartments?
So they're looking for, and I just saw that Zillow reported that their revenues went up in Q4. I think it was Q4 compared to the previous Q4, right? So their numbers improved year over year, but they're still losing money. And part of the reason they went up, they improved, was the rental side, the Zillow rentals. The revenue of Zillow rentals actually went up. And so it's kind of interesting that Zillow's I have property management. You have property management. I pay Zillow every month for my exposure on my rentals. It's the number one source of leads. For the people that don't have property management, there was a month last year, and we probably manage 150 doors, 150 properties. So it's not massive, but it's single.
How many rentals were in your town? They probably are the biggest.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Lot of single family homes, which works really well with our sales business, right? Because we, that's what we want. So 200 applicants, 200 tenants. Now those are leads. Those are leads that, how many of those 200 people in 1 month, in May, will eventually buy a home? Or want to buy a home? I think a portion of it, right? And more people are having to delay home ownership because of interest rates, where normally they would buy. Maybe they sell their house and relocate to another area. And instead of getting locked into a higher interest rate, they're like, well, that's rent. So we're seeing that more. That's rent. We're also seeing people saying, I'm not selling. To hell with this. I'm going to die with this interest rate.
Right.
So instead of listing their home, they turn it into a rental. So Zillow's seeing an increase in rental advertising and traffic. Apartments.com probably saw the same thing. So that website's probably been crushing it.
Oh, dude, it's got to be buzzing.
Got to be buzzing with the big apartment complexes. Imagine if you're imagine if you're a giant, hedge fund or private equity fund, and you have big assets, $30 million assets, $20 million assets, right? $10 million, whatever it is, total. You're going to go to apartments.com and get advertising because you're going to lease those things up, baby. So this is some big money going on.
And that makes so much sense because that's like the cheapest leads and traffic.
It's just early
the rentals. Like if you put a list of rentals on a document and go to any homes group, any Facebook group, buy, sell, and say, hey, I have these 5 rentals. Send me a DM if you want more information. You could generate all the free leads you want, Nick.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, is that you holding off on buying, but want a great rental?
Copywriting right now.
We're copywriting headlines, baby. It's like, yeah, because you want to talk to that person that is going to buy or has sold, but they want a nice single family home. They want a rental for a year, rent for a year until rates drop. Now, I don't like talking about rates. I don't like that one, but rent for a year, right?
Until you're ready to buy.
A lot of doctors our marketplace has a big medical center for the renting. And they're always trying to attract talented people, doctors, nurses, all the techs, all the specializations. And if they can't find housing, they don't come. And a lot of those people don't want to buy right away because it might be a 1-year, 3-year contract. They don't know.
Yeah, travel nurses too. Yeah,
they don't know if they're going to love it. They don't know if they love it. So oftentimes they want to find a nice rental. And then guess what happens? We end up selling them a house in a year. But back to this homes.com.
Well, I'm just going to go on Facebook and make a post later because I think we have 4 vacant properties right now in our portfolio of what we manage. So,
yeah. Or you know what? You go to your landlord or your client, the client, the landlord that owns the home, and you say, hey, are you open to entertaining offers? And so then you can go, well, yeah, I don't know. It depends on the price. Everything has a price. Of course. Awesome. So you can market, hey, I have 5 rentals that would also consider making an offer, would also entertain offers. Bundle it. And then you don't give them a price, but they have to inquire to find out more. And then you get that because the inventory is so low.
Good one too. Good one.
That's like, yeah, it's a good one. Here's what we
look at us masterminding. We haven't masterminded in like 2 weeks.
This is a Suneet and Nick mastermind marketing direct response. I found this really interesting about homes.com and just the overall investment. And so we're not saying Zillow or homes.com. We're not saying choose, I don't think, Suneet. We're saying explore both. I'm signing up on both. Right?
100%.
I'm on.
Don't stop there. Sign up on everything.
Sign up on all. And so on homes.com, I'm not promoting them at all, but you can go there and say, hey, why do I love an agent? And you can apply for a membership. They have a membership form you can fill out. My guess is when you get on a membership, you have the ability to advertise your listings at a higher impression rate, right? So you get to boost your listings, which will theoretically generate more leads for you.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it could be trying to sell you onto HomeSnap too.
Okay.
Which HomeSnap, I believe, was basically just GLS ran by them. Google Local Service Ads.
HomeSnap. And does a consumer download the HomeSnap app to search for properties?
I don't know.
You know, I just went to homesnap.com, and as soon as I go there, Cindy, this is interesting. Go there right now. Go to homesnap.com. As soon as you click that, a pop-up comes up and it says homes.com is now a better solution to search for homes. So they're just driving traffic.
Wow, look at that pop-up.
Yeah.
Oh, so HomeSnap, okay, go to homes.com. There.
Yeah. Yep. So they acquired HomeSnap, and they're basically now just forwarding it over to homes.com. Maybe they're using some of that technology. The app.
Why, when I go to HomeSnap, does it take me to Bothell, to your neighborhood?
I don't know. That's weird. They got some working to do. But you know,
How far is that from you?
Bothel's pretty far. Yeah, a couple hours. But I'm definitely going to look into that because we do a good job getting listings, and I want to promote those listings. And those are probably going to be phone calls coming in, right? Phone calls, scripts. So, Andy Florence, the CEO, said that, I said, in 2023, they did 375,000 drone flights. 375,000 drone flights. They built out profiles for 21,000 U.S. neighborhoods. They're really pushing profiles to learn more about schools and restaurants, nightlife areas. Then the previous podcast, Suneet, I was talking with Joe Rodriguez, who's a Reside client in Houston, and building a big team. And he has a YouTube channel.
If you're Houston, reach out to the original Houston living.
And you've heard about, and many of you probably listened to that episode, but he has Living in Houston, the original YouTube channel. Yeah. And, 250 people called in January 2024.
No, bro.
Something crazy, 254. Why? Because people that are relocating or whoever want to know more about the areas. He's not really pushing real estate much. I mean, he pushes new construction, so you get a feel for what's out there. But I mean, I think homes.com's taking that angle. They're going to go there and want to get more about the information about the area.
I'm just happy because I looked at homes.com and I'm on page. So it's interesting. Page 1 is a bunch of agents I have never seen or heard of. And not a lot of big sales numbers. Page 2 is where all the big ballers are. Oh, wait, who's this guy? 2,100 sales? Oh, Suneet Agarwal.
So profiles are probably important on there. Edit your profile.
Make a profile.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, dude, Maya's. Yeah. Number.
Yeah. Highest rated schools, neighborhoods. Back in 2014, 15, and 16, I was a co-owner of a MLS, and it was a real estate website and IDX company. And IDX is an internet data exchange. It's basically a home search website, right? So we use Sierra, and there's Boomtown, and there's, all these other companies, right? For agents to have a website. And we were really exploring points of interest. We call them, POIs, because the co-owner of the company, she had a background in Chamber of Commerce websites, neighbor downtown associations, community websites. So people would hire her, like the city of Auburn would hire her to build out a website for top things to do, all these different things. And oftentimes these cities have some of the best domains. Like they would have like Bothell.com. They would own Sacramento.com,
sure.
Right? So they would pay her like $50,000 to build a website. You would have amazing organic traffic. You'd have one of the top organic traffic in your neighborhood. Shout out to Justin Haver, who actually got Calgary.com, kind of understanding and had paid good money for it. But
he did.
Organic traffic's probably crushing it, probably made it back. And so the moral of the story isn't try to go get the, your city's name.com. But what we found was, and what she knew was, She knew all the pages people searched. She knew the top tabs, what people liked. And it was always points of interest, what to do, where to go, always. If you go to a chamber website, the top pages are things to do.
Dude, always.
Always things to do. So, I don't know if homes.com is doing things to do. It looks like they're doing neighborhoods, which is kind of things to do, and schools. But I think things to do, if you're doing a YouTube channel, if you're doing blogs on your website, should be top 5 things to do, top 5 restaurants, top 5 things, top 5 trails, top 5.
In your newsletter.
Yes, in your newsletter.
Bro, we need to do a newsletter episode soon because mine have been crushing.
Your newsletter's crushing it. Well, give us a little tip, like what is working, what's crushing about it.
Well, real quick, about homes.com, because I just looked. So I went to Google, homes in Sacramento. There is the number 1 is another team in Sacramento who's obviously paying for the pay-per-click. Number 2 is cash. Number 3 is, this is something else. Best.com for best realtors. Here's somebody who's not even who's in Colorado, whose Google person should get fired. Okay, they're the sponsor, or then organic. Number 1, Zillow. Number 2, realtor. Number 3, dude, interestingly enough, Nick, it's Twitter. Homes in Sacramento.
This is on a Google search.
Yes.
Twitter.
Number 4, Redfin. Number 5, homes.com. Number 6, Trulia. Number 7, Movoto. Then it becomes different brokerages, Remax, etc. It's super fascinating.
So homes.com is in the top 5 in that organic reach at right now.
Yep.
Yeah. And they're going to be paying for pay-per-click. And I guarantee they have an advisor at Google. I guarantee, they're optimizing.
Oh,
and
guaranteed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're in it. Now, what I thought was, I wanted to point out too, is the alignment with the strategy to align with agents, or give the impression they're aligned with agents. Agent-centric website, agent first. And obviously, if they're promoting huge events at NAR, they must have relationships with people at NAR.
Oh,
realtor associations.
spend the money.
Mm-hmm. And which realtor.com went away from, right? They didn't really, you would think they would be the most aligned with real estate agents because of the name. But if you've ever had an experience with realtor.com, with their sales team, I don't know if it was like mine, but they're trying to sell me.
Yeah. I have a great relationship with Realtor. They just hired their new CEO. I forgot his name. I hung out with him a bunch this year. Went on like a trip with all those guys. And they're trying, right? Like Realtor.com is saying that how they want to get more traffic is by leveraging more of News Corp's other assets. Have a ticker at the bottom of Fox. Have this in some, news in some news publication and some newspaper, right? Online. So, but yeah, Realtor.com used to go hard at those events. I haven't seen them go hard lately. As a matter of fact, much of their staff that was responsible for the presence at the events have now moved on. Can't remember anybody's name right now, but a couple of them got laid off. And I know Andrew went to Follow Boss, and he's loving it. He's thriving. So I don't know who their events team is anymore, but
they're pivoting or realigning with the agent, working with the agent, team leaders.
Well, I think, dude, just a lot of people feel a way about Zillow. Mm-hmm. People always have. People are worried about them becoming a brokerage, the evil empire, or taking away all their business. And I don't think they have any plans of becoming a brokerage.
No, they don't. It would be mutually assured destruction.
Oh, dude.
Because if all your revenue is tied to the agent, pretty much, a good portion of it, you can't disrupt that too, because then your stock, they're publicly traded, their stock would take. It's
Dude, here's the thing: is right now on the Flex program, the referral fee is 40%. Zillow has zero liability in the transaction, and they're getting 40%. And in the brokerage model, we give a lead and get 50% and have all the liability.
true.
Why would Zillow want thousands of agents, tens of thousands of agents liability? Like, they're already getting almost the same amount of money.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's like Airbnb. Why own the property? Why own the property?
Yeah.
Own zero properties. Be the portal. I mean, be the exchange. You know, Amazon doesn't really own the products.
No.
I mean, they do have Amazon products. You know, they vertically integrate a little bit, but that's not where they're at. They're also
That's just traffic, bro. Like, everyone's just who owns the traffic.
Yeah,
Who
be
owns
the
the attention, the eyeballs.
be the distributor. Be the distributor. You know, and also on Amazon analogy, right? They have AWS, which is the cloud-based service on the back end that runs it. You know, looking at CoStar, their mission statement and a lot about who they are, analytics. Analytics. So it's like, why would you spend $1 billion and then give all the leads away? There's something on the analytics side they're looking at, right? Because they obviously have clients that maybe, I don't know, but are buying single family homes. Maybe they have institutional level clients that are looking for marketplaces to invest in. I don't know.
Dude, I'm paying for the data.
If you're paying for who would pay for that data? I would say for sure, like someone like BlackRock or something like that, right? Because they want that data. They want that inside margin on there. Now,
I want the data. Not that I can afford it, but give me all the data.
More than data is the analytics, the interpretation of it, the trends.
Totally.
Because if you just get all the information, it's not going to do anything. Now, I want to bring us something about homes.com. I thought is genius if they can pull it off. This is genius if they can pull it off. It's your listing, your lead, and once you get the lead, you feel confident it's your lead. That if that person goes back to homes.com, they're not going to be then someone else's lead. I don't know. But homes.com is saying, hey, if Suneet signs up on my listing, he is now a lead on my dashboard. I can now start sending him properties. You know, I can set up a property save search for Suneet.
Yeah, the only thing that I think of there, dude, is let's say that Bob the buyer goes to homes.com and clicks on 3 different listings from 3 different brokerages.
I don't know how they're going to work that. Is Bob the buyer now in 3 different agents' leads, and whoever does the best job acquiring them wins?
Yeah, I mean, number one,
it has to be
that lead is free.
Yep. So yeah, I think it is then a battle of who can get a hold of Bob.
Yep.
Now,
provide the most value and have the most, yeah.
Now, here's the thing though, with the consumer, is that going to be a detractor to the consumer? Because it's like, well, I don't want to, I'm scared to click the button because all of a sudden I'm going to be having multiple agents calling me. Every time I click on it, all of a sudden, Bob, the agent's calling me a million times. Most agents don't call though. Let's be honest. Most agents don't call. Most don't. So the winner here is, man, homes.com could be a killer for people and teams that can promote their listings and can make phone calls because you're going to win. It's a competitive industry. And usually the first one there wins. The first one to make that conversation, the first quality conversation, the first person to show them a home is going to win. Statistically, 70% of people work with the first agent they talk to or meet with, right?
Yeah.
So that's
70+%, right?
Yeah. So unless you forget about them. So I like the idea of them being able to send properties to the consumer, because what that's going to do is they're getting the agents to do some of their heavy lifting, getting the people back to the website to search more, right? So right now, Zillow, if you sign up on their website, Zillow sets you up on a alert right? They have you on alerts. They're going to email you like new listings, price reduced listings, things like that. But it's not curated by a human.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And there's some really good agents out there that are good at, getting on the MLS and sending properties to people. Every day they get up, have a cup of coffee, look at the MLS, see what's on the hot sheet, new listings, and texting them to people, which in fact, texting a new listing to somebody is the winner. Like you're working with a buyer, text them the link.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just send them a link from your own website, not a portal.
Please.
And if you post it on Facebook, send it from our own website and not from a portal.
Oh, does that just drive you crazy when like one of your agents promotes a listing on like Zillow?
Well, we have every IDX site.
Just pick one.
Just pick one.
I had an agent, it's probably had more than one agent do this. Their friend decided to go for sale by owner. And as a good friend, they posted it on Facebook and said, hey, my friend, I just want to let everyone know my friend listed their house for sale by owner. I was like, take that down. Like, it's all like, I appreciate your helping your friend out, but it's a weird message if you're an agent, so.
Yeah, you have to send me a message right now. I just found out about this off-market property. Let me know if you want to see it. Well, that was a bad headline, but.
Well, or hey, yeah, I know of a home. So yeah, you be careful with that one. But yeah, sending properties to buyers, that's what they want. Give buyers what they want, and they want properties. And the e-alert, the automatic alert is great to get them back to the website. But what's even better is you actually selecting it, curating it.
Yeah. Shows that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, takeaway for everybody listening. Let's wrap this up. Everybody listening, go to homes.com, make a profile. Okay. We will make sure to stay educated on and let you guys know on what's happening with homes.com. But they got a lot of money. They got a lot of tech. They want in. If you're sleeping on this, you might miss out. So let us wake you up and go to homes.com and register.
100% register and if you have if you're a listing machine, look into boosting those listings because that could be a great ROI on leads. They're going to be populating the listings not in the order of the algorithm. Just in the order of a search. They're going to be
free leads.
You can put your listing, your hottest listing towards the top, more clicks, more views, more leads.
Yeah, when Zillow do your listing presentation.
Yeah. And then you go in the listing presentation and say, I boost our listings on homes.com and we get 8 times the results. Right.
And so the Super Bowl this year. Great. You know that website, homes.com? You'll never guess. I'm able to actually boost your listing on homes.com. Isn't that great?
Mm-hmm.
Any more questions before we sign the paperwork?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I'm sure other agents put their homes on the homes.com, right? But they do the free version. And you know where the free version gets you? The bottom of the list.
Yeah. When's the last time you got something great for free?
Yeah. So I cracked the code on homes.com. Our listings now show up at the very top or towards the top. Great. I cracked the code.
Great.
Cracked the code on it. I have a great relationship with them. I partnered with them. I'm a member. I'm a premier member. Yeah, we're already, see, this is what happens when Cindy and I talk mastermind. But you do, it's joking aside, but it's true. This is where it's at. Well, Cindy, wrap it up.
All right. Well, guys, I hope you got something out of this conversation about homes.com. I think it's super relevant and not enough people in the industry are talking about it. Well, the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Homes.com, CoStar definitely won the advertising by just the depth and creativity in their ads. So go to homes.com, sign up. We have no affiliation with them at all. However, if they want to affiliate with us, go ahead and give me a call. We have no affiliation with them at all. If you got something out of this, share it with a friend, click like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Reside Platform Podcast.